Alright, so we're kind of winding down here, getting down to the last song, 9/11. That's the name of the song. And that will coincide with the book that I'm working on currently. Got a little distracted with other stuff, but I really need to get this 9/11 book done, get it finished. And like the song goes, I wrote a book on 9/11. It's just a little book. It's just a little book. That's all it is. It's not meant to solve everything or to, because I really don't think anybody can really solve 9/11. I think a lot of people have created theories or valid theories or chosen a theory and just ran with it as if that's the only one and it has to be that or whatever. But I'm definitely, I think there's obviously a lot of things that we do know about September 11th. Obviously, I think it's bigger than September 11th. I don't believe it was just the Jews or just the Muslims or just our government or just the Russians or the Chinese or whoever. It's a global problem that we have here, and it's not just limited to 9/11. So I hope this song just kind of just lets people know that, and maybe it will encourage other people to write their own little book. It's not like certain people should have a market on it, and I think we need to be very careful about making money off of these tragedies. For me, it's important to have a 9-to-5 job, but I understand if people can do it if they're that business savvy. Maybe I'm just not looking at it from that point. As a Christian, obviously, it does kind of, it does make me, it reminds myself not to do that, that you're not in this for any of that. If you're really honestly in this to find the truth, then go do that. And that's what I'm trying to do here to the best of my ability, while still trying to live life and trying to understand if I am going after what happened on September 11th, how is it related to the bigger goal? How is it related to what's really going on here, which is the spiritual war, the spiritual warfare that we face every day, all the time, right? It's always, it's an ongoing struggle. There isn't going to be peace on earth. There isn't going to be some happy ending until we go through death, until we go through that stage, until the world ends. Okay, let's say that. Until the world ends. Then there will be peace on earth, because there won't be this earth. It'll be a new heaven and a new earth. And so we have nothing to fear. Now, with that said, let's go to it. Let's go and do all that we can do to make this world a better place. Let's do what we can to lift other people up, to help other people, to not be a burden on other people, and to not hurt other people, because people hurt. You look into the eyes of people, and they look sad. I see a lot of people that just look sad when you look at them, and they try to act like they're angry, or try to act like they're tough or whatever, but to me, they just look sad, and they look lost, and it's because they don't have Jesus Christ. Now, I do have Jesus Christ. I've always known about Jesus Christ. It's always been in my life. I didn't realize how serious it was and how, real it was, that this spiritual war that we're facing is a war for our soul. You have the war for your mind, the war for your body, but you have also the war for your soul, which is the most important war. That's the war that really counts. In the end, that's the one that counts. So, as I continue with this music project coming to an end, this will probably be the last music project that I do for a long time, with multiple songs on it. I think from this point on, I'm really just going to do song by song by song by song for the next couple years. That's my plan, anyway. So I just got so used to just trying to do an album after album after album, and it's just like, you know what? I just want to I got other stuff that I really want to do too. I still practice just about every day. I still write. I still want to keep doing all of this. But as far as when the song is released, I want it to be released as soon as possible. And I've always been like that. And so you can't really do that if you're trying to create a project with 12 songs on it, 20 songs on it. It's not going to happen. So after this song, which will be the last song for the project, the 11th song, there'll be 11 songs on here, and the restart will begin, continue, and end. And we'll keep going and keep moving forward. But I'm looking forward to this year, to 2018. I think it's going to be a really good year for truth, a really good year for fact-finding, and a really good year, most of all, to praise Jesus, to do His will, to learn what He wants us to do. Now, the older that I get, the more I understand a lot of these young people and what they're doing out there, and some of their beefs and their gripes and stuff like that. But the older that I get, also I now understand, or I'm starting to see things differently than when I felt like those young people who wanted the quick fix and who thought, well, if we just do 1, 2, 3, 4, if we could get everybody to just do these things, then that'll solve our problem. No, there's always going to be problems. There's always going to be something. It's a continuous resistance and a continual fight against evil. And we're just going to keep moving on, keep going strong. It's getting easier. It's getting a lot easier for me to do these songs. I wouldn't say it's less work, but at this point, I want to try to focus more on putting more into one song instead of into one project. So I'm going to be focusing on that a little more now, going forward, once I finish this project. And when this book comes out that I've been working on pretty much for my whole life, well, I wouldn't say that, but pretty much since I started realizing that what happened on September 11th was not true, that's when this book began. That's when I started writing. So after all that time, after all that, I've really tried to just narrow it down, cut down a lot of the speculation, a lot of that stuff. But it's hard because the whole theory, the official theory on 9/11 is all speculation. It's a lot of speculation. Like, what really happened on those planes? How many planes were up there? What really happened inside of those towers, I think, is a lot easier to come to grips with than what really happened on those planes. When you look at what the government has, or at least what they've released publicly, they don't have a lot. They have not given us a lot. And back in 2001, I mean, we're almost approaching 20 years here. And you look at that and it's like, wow. Like, okay, what do they really know? It's not much. They cannot prove that a plane hit the Pentagon. They just can't prove it. They can't prove what happened with Building 7. With the Twin Towers, they don't talk about all the bombs in the buildings. They don't talk about that stuff. So they replace 2 towers with 1. On and on and on. So I just hope this book is just a little book, an informative book, and just a quick kind of way for people to get caught up, for people that are new to researching 911. I hope this book will give them just a little, like crib notes, I guess. And, well, the government said this person said that, based on this, based on that. And that's really it. Not really trying to throw my opinions or my view on there, because my opinion and my view should be very clear, is that this is a spiritual war. We're fighting the devil. He's the one who pulled off 911, all right, and all these other things, JFK, all this stuff. It all goes back to him. Now, obviously, we make our own choices whether we want to, do those evil things, carry out those terrorist attacks or whatever, but ultimately, that's what it is. It's a battle. And we do have free will, so we do have the right to say no. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do some human sacrifice, Bohemian Grove or whatever. I'm not going to kill 3,000 people. I'm not going to be a part of that. And I think the only thing